Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in. I see Helen, what's going on, baby? Serious, what's going on, baby? First things first, hopefully everybody's having a blessed and productive Saturday evening. Hopefully everybody was able to get through their day, whether it's events or whatever. If you got nighttime events, make sure you keeping yourself vigilant. Make sure you staying safe at all times. Appreciate everybody who tuned in for the music portion earlier. Definitely was a one to kick us out the club, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, still appreciate y'all. Tonight, I'm just going to keep it a little simple. I might not even be on here too long, but I am going to speak my piece. And it's something that I really feel needs to be spoken. It is really time for something drastic to change. Not just for the adults, but for the youth as well. The youth, because again, I'm seeing disturbing videos, stuff that's really just is damaging. Because at the end of the day, again, why should the kids have to suffer or go through that type of upbringing? Regardless, there's some of these youngins right now that's damn near about to get themselves killed if they ain't already getting themselves killed. And I'm gonna say this to some of you young fellas out there: everything is all bread and gravy. Everything is all fun and games until you either laid up in the hospital paralyzed, or you laid in the morgue, or you locked up for life for doing something you didn't necessarily have to do. Um, Young man tried to rob a woman in a hotel or whatever the case was, and big as the gun was that he was holding, I don't think he really knew what he was doing. And before you could even get to it, she pulled out her handgun and chased him up out of there. That was risky because, again, that's a female doing that. But at the end of the day, it's my life or yours. I've always felt when it comes to protection, yeah, that's exactly what it essentially stands for. If it's a situation that could be a dire situation, especially if somebody's, hostile or just too jittery, you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do. And luckily, she ain't have to shoot or do nothing. But it's the principle that some of you youngins you're not prepared for that. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. There's some things that, again, that is not worth losing your life for. You're trying to get a momentary come up, like I said before, and that come up could be your problem. That come up could be your downfall. If you think it's essentially cool, like I said, to be robbing elderly folks, robbing the hard earning and working 9 to 5ers, then at some point you do get what's coming to you. And I'm sorry, but at some point you're going to have to think. You might think that there's no opportunities around, but there are. Again, use your mind for the betterment. You never know. You can create your own opportunity where you ain't got to necessarily hurt nobody, and you ain't got to worry about spending no time in jail. It is adamant that some adults do try to get themselves involved to some degree. You can't insert yourself in everything, but the things you can, you should. Algorithm, what's going on, my guy? Again, that could have went deadly, because if he would have accidentally pulled the trigger and would have killed her, then what? Now you either essentially on the run, or you're going to end up getting caught, because at some point you ain't got nowhere to go. And that's where some of y'all should really take the time to think. If you're not built for this type of situations, you're not prepared to be on the run, you're not prepared to do certain things, honestly, you shouldn't be doing it. Because essentially you are setting yourself up. Again, that could have been an incident. He could have accidentally let the trigger off and killed her. Or she could have just straight up got fearful and shot. And she had an opportunity to shoot either the face or in the stomach. Either which way, you've been hurt. Quite sure he wouldn't have won no shot to the face. But this is what I'm saying with people. You out here waving these guns all crazy. You doing things that you know you ain't got no business doing. And then you not expecting the consequences. It comes back. Because essentially you are saying that you letting the gun speak for you. And it's sad because at the end of the day, come on now. You got better potential, you got better opportunities to present. Some of y'all are trying to do what you do because you feel my moms, my pops is in the struggle. They can't afford certain things for me. I want this, I want that. Sometimes you're not going to always get what you want in life. Sorry to tell you that. If it's something you ain't learned, you're going to end up learning it. You're not always going to get essentially what you want in life. You could work for it. You could try to achieve it. But you're not always going to get what you want. You know, and things that you want, like I said, essentially shouldn't be causing no harm to nobody. Nobody should feel like they got their pride or anything stripped from them because they're being stripped of whatever it is you was trying to acquire for them. Vic, what's going on, my guy? Been a hot minute, bro. What with you? You know what I'm saying? Essentially, you gonna end up putting yourself in the hot seat, and for what? You know, to be honest with you, parents are going to struggle because with the way stuff is going on in this economy, you know, in certain spots, you know, everything is inflation right now. So yeah, you can understand that some people don't want to live the not the hand to hand, but some people just they feel they want the best. But even at a young age, you should be trying to inspire yourself. If you want so much, you need to try to earn it the right way. Brian, what's going on, my guy? You know, again, now if either which situation I just said would have happened, again, somebody would have been losing a family member or possibly, you know, distraught about a family member because it shouldn't have had to happen in the first place. That time you taking to try to scheme and try to rob, you could be trying to do something better. I'm sorry, but this is a precarious situation right now because again, you know, you get tired of seeing and hearing stories like that, and then some people is, yo, what happened to such and such? Yo, you ain't here, he got locked up. For what? Yeah, he did this, that, and third. You like, you know, stuff that you really don't want to hear, you'll end up hearing. Nobody wants to hear that their child is going to jail possibly for life because they done did something they didn't necessarily have to do. I'm so itchy or so trigger happy, I ended up killing somebody in the midst of a robbery. You know, come on. It's time to change that view in life. You know, and it's also time to think because people have families, right? And some of these families are not going to take that lying down. If they lost a family member and they really ride or die for their family, they're not playing. It's going to be a lot of problems. And again, why live your life on the run or live your life in fear because you did something you didn't necessarily have to? Miss T, what's going on, baby? Hammer, what's going on, baby? Yeah, but you know what it is, algorithm? Not to be funny, sometimes the good do outweigh the bad. But it's like for every good, you know, for every good video, for every good deed you do here, even off this app, there's always something that's trying to, but you can't let it. I hear you, bro. BMF, what's going on, my guy? I hear you, bro. Shoot. Um, so you can really do, bro. Sometimes you just gotta take a fall back from things. That's another thing. Some of y'all gotta take a fall back. Um, think before you do again. You get one shot in life in this shell of a body, and again, if you're not trying to do the best to keep yourself here longer, if you're not trying to do something that's going to bring eventually generational wealth, it's going to be the solid problem right there. You know, essentially, You want to open your mind to more categories. Explore more explore more damn options. You need to. You feel like I said you good with, soldering, welding, and stuff like that. Hey, get into that. Train yourself for something better. You have people who actually do get opportunities, and again, they will deny those opportunities either because of pride or because they feel they don't essentially want to work with somebody or work for somebody. But if you're going to work with somebody, you got to be able to put in your time and your effort as well, too. And again, stop just thinking about the quick come up. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this easy lick. I'm definitely going to get these bands. That don't mean nothing. You essentially, prime example, and this is where some of y'all mess up. Y'all want to quote unquote stick together and rob and steal, but in the same token, y'all still splitting something. And then even when it's getting split down, right? Because I'm not condoning it, but even when it gets split down, some of y'all will still feel upset or feel inclined to have a little more than what you essentially should have. This is the problem again with entitlement to a degree, because some of y'all are not even entitled to that. You're not entitled to just be aimlessly running around trying to do something you know for a fact has grave consequences. And again, there's a couple people that haven't been here recently, but that's only because I know certain situations. A couple of them have actually explained what was going on. So again, hopefully those people are feeling better. And again, hopefully those other people who have been in situations where it could have got deadly, hopefully they get a better, they get a better mindset of what's going on because, it's crazy when you're an elderly person, prime example, and you done got to a point of being robbed, duct taped, and everything else. And these fools just don't care. D Truth, what's going on, my guy? You already know if y'all just tuned to hit the like button. I want to discuss a few things tonight. But again, I feel nobody should be ever thinking about harm towards children, women, elderly folks. Like, it has to stop. Again, you are essentially saying you don't care about yourself. You don't care about the people around you. And some of you are going to have to stop, again, thinking about the quick come up and that easy game. Sometimes in life, you're not going to get everything easy. You're going to have to work hard at some point. There are some people, prime example right now, if they miss their opportunity in life on something that they was passionate about, but they still passionate and they can still do the thing, guess what? They going to either open up a clinic or they going to open up something to where you're giving back to those who need it. Like I said, there were some people who didn't make the pros as far as football, basketball, baseball, whatever. But they still come and put something back in the community that's going to at least give these kids an option and a brighter understanding that guess what? If you take your time, work hard, and you just put the dedication in it, you could excel in great levels and you could definitely bring something greater for your future. The main thing to remember is just don't give up. And a lot of you are quick to give up. That's why you go to the quick option of, yeah, I'm gonna have to rob this person. I'm gonna have to steal something, or I'm gonna have to scam. I'm gonna have to credit card fraud, all of that. Nah, you just taking the easier way out, but then you gonna suffer a harsher consequence. Like I said, that scamming, annoying. Give me 1 second, y'all. My bad, y'all. Oh, you allergic to jail, Miss T? Oh, you gonna be allergic to jail today? Don't worry, don't worry. I ain't smell you in the club today neither, so you might be put in jail. I don't know. This damn phone acting a fool. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Just had a phone call. But again, excel the levels, man. The jail system should not be something for y'all to glorify. It shouldn't be something for y'all to reach for. Again, you're gonna have those who feel I could go out here and make this much in a couple hours and get some of the stuff or get whatever I need. I could feed my parents. I could do this. I could do that. Yeah, but look at the course you're gonna have to take and look at the risk you're gonna have to take just to do that. You think it's always cool to just be out here trying to sling and hustle, but guess what? At some point, the hustle is gonna stop. The only reason why the hustle is gonna stop is at some point you're gonna essentially see that you're not making no real big bucks. You're not. If you think $700 in a couple hours is something, that's something to somebody that's thinking small minded. I'm sorry to say it that way. Again, there's alleyways that was giving everybody this come up as far as quote unquote living a luxurious life. But it's slowly fading away. And it's fading away because if you're not getting locked up, you either losing your life or, you essentially just you're gonna have to stop doing something because something is gonna make you say, you know what, this is more worth it. And I would honestly say for those who got families or just started a family, no matter what, think about your overall safety and your risk. You gotta essentially think about that. You think you're gonna be cool, you out here doing what you're doing, you might have a infant son or infant daughter, and you mean to tell me you done did something stupid, you could be possibly locked up for life and miss out on the opportunity of growing? I'm sorry, I'm speaking to the young fellas and the young women out there too. A lot of y'all making crazy decisions because you are not thinking. You're not thinking smart. You're moving too blindly. I've seen some stories with some women crying their hearts out because they made a mistake, following behind the wrong man or following behind the wrong friends and done went out, did something, whether they was spiked up on drugs or not. Done messed themselves up for life. I remember a young girl definitely, you know, making light of a situation that took place. But when she sobered up and realized what it was, yeah, you're not going home. She thought it was a game. She gonna go home. Her parents gonna come get her. No, you in there for a murder, vehicular homicide. Yes, you hit and killed somebody and didn't think to stop. That's why I said you got to be more mindful of what you do. Oh, another thing, but tell some of y'all too. Y'all need to really chill out with this drinking and getting behind the wheel stuff. And some of y'all still prone to doing this now. You are essentially messing yourself up, and you could be messing up somebody else's future or yours. What's more important, you getting home to your family or you not making it to your family? That is a question that a lot of y'all should be asking yourselves. What's more important? If I know I got something to live for, I got something to keep me motivated and going, then guess what? I'm not going to do anything in no nature to mess that balance up. I want to see my child be the best. All right. I'm going to make sure I'm here long enough. Definitely appreciate you for dropping those links. Serious, baby. And I'm sorry, but it is time for a structural change one way or another. And the sad part about some of you young adults is that you could be the inspiration for those up under you. You can't be just like we trying to be the ones right now. But essentially, it is, again, up to you. I think it's one way to look at it. Again, what's more important? Getting home to your family safe and sound or not getting to your family at all? Now, I can understand, again, some freak accidents could happen. But in the same token, those freak accidents shouldn't be caused because you chose to make these decisions. Like again, you going out to try to rob and steal from somebody. You taking the old school approach about trying to basically strong arm somebody, but in the same token, you slip up and hurt somebody or kill somebody. Then what? I would tell you this: not all robberies and not all stuff goes as it plans. Any type of real hurt and pain at some point that you causing on to the people, it at some point gets justified. And again, I'm thinking about that right there because that boy could have lost his life. Pointing a gun in front of, first of all, again, that's somebody's mother, somebody's aunt, somebody's sister. Some of y'all gonna have to think before you do things again. A story about there was another one about and I'm speaking to you young women too, because some of y'all just, y'all getting trigger happy and going to the guns as well too. I can see you going to it if you were really defending yourself from something. But if you don't necessarily have to use that for protection, you don't really necessarily need it. Argument happened between two women, and one of the women, like I said, it wasn't a physical confrontation. It was just verbal words. Nothing too crazy, I don't believe. The girl though walked off around the corner, came back and shot this girl in her face and killed her. Again, senselessness. You don't necessarily have to go to it. If it's not that deep, then stop just reaching for the gun, man. Essentially, that's what you're gonna have to stop doing. Stop reaching for the gun. Because again, if it's not a blatant, violent disrespect, there's no need for you to go to that violent extremes anyway. And again, essentially, you are messing up people. You don't know if these people got family, they got kids, and essentially, these kids are growing up without either or parent. Why? Because again, senseless violence. The fact that you're not in control of your emotions. I keep saying this because again, there's some of y'all that are just not in control of your emotions, and it shows. Again, when you are thinking about doing certain things, think about it. You are still thinking. You still have time to make a critical decision and a crucial choice on what is essentially more important. You know, it is time to again give yourself a testament. A testament of strength, a testament of will, and a testament of power. You need that. You're gonna essentially need that. Again, there should be no arguments to where somebody has to lose their life or almost lose their life. Like I said, words are words. You know, disagreements, they're gonna come, they're gonna come in different forms. But again, it shouldn't have to lead to somebody dying. Again, you don't know if these people have kids, if they're on the verge of having kids. You know, it's sad that the will to live for some people, it's not saying that it's dead. It's not. The will to live is always going to be in you. The will to survive, yeah, it's going to be in you as well too. And some people are going to have to do what's necessary to survive because I'm starting to see that in certain instances we're going to have problems. We're going to have problems where, look, you can't even talk to somebody. They're going to eventually think this is where they're going to have to go. So you're going to have to do what's necessary yourself. You know, keep yourself preserved. And a lot of y'all have not done that. Kept yourself preserved to where you're not focusing off of the drama. You're not focusing off the going to jail part. Y'all need to just focus, period. bring opportunity and education back one way or another. And see, this is what I'm saying. We got to have a better energy and not just have selective outrage. We got to have a better understanding that there are things that are bigger than us. And essentially, again, these kids are the ones that are suffering. The ones that are losing parents, those are the ones that are suffering. The ones that are getting caught in the midst of crossfires that don't got nothing to do with them, those are the families suffering right there. Sorry, but at what point do, again, we come together and say, you know what, enough is enough? Let's stand up against the things we need to so we can give these people a better opportunity to live. And it's crazy because in certain parts of this quote unquote good old US of A, in some instances, it's almost prevalent to what's going on across the world, like in Iraq and Palestine and everything else. It's war, but it's like, for what? A lot of y'all fighting again over stuff that you don't necessarily have to fight over. Some of y'all losing your lives again over turf and territory that don't essentially belong to anybody over there. Nobody has their name on the property, lease deed, nothing. So it's not yours. You could represent it, but it ain't yours. Didi, what's going on, baby? Again, we tired of seeing and hearing things along those lines. A lot of y'all, again, essentially throwing away your lives for, bull. Me trying to rob somebody or come rob a couple people just for a come up, and then you still gonna have to do. Nah, I'm not gonna do all of that. You might mess around, do something stupid. Guess what? You think you got away with $1,000 now? If you with more than one person, you splitting that. So again, you essentially are just trying to get a little come up. Listen, everybody in life is gonna go through some sort of struggle. How long you stay in that struggle, that does depend on you again. If you're not going to give yourself a better opportunity or at least some sort of glimmer and hope, then it's pointless. You can't blame the world around you. You can't blame the society for what's going on. You can't blame nothing. You can only look at yourself. Yeah, we know certain things getting messed up right now, but there's things we can possibly change if everybody comes together and says, you know what, let's put our money together for this. You know what, let's band together and protest against this. Even down to protesting sometimes. Some people just can't have a good protest without some sort of violence and stupidity going on. If you're supposed to be coming for a peaceful protest, that means there should be no violence at any point during that peaceful protest. On either end, not from the cops and definitely not from the people. This world is just a little bit diluted right now, it is. And this is the sad part about it. You know, some people are doing and taking chances because, hey, if nobody's taking the time or taking the effort on them, they ain't gonna take the time and effort on nobody else neither. They don't care about nothing else. But again, you are essentially robbing yourself of a better tomorrow. Commander, what's going on, baby? Moot moot. Again, you are essentially robbing yourself out of a glorious opportunity to shine, grow, and be a productive part of what's going on in society. Again, you cry about no opportunities. You got to build opportunities. You got to be amongst the right people who are trying to build opportunities. But this is just, again, a strong problem that we do have. We're not seeing that again in the long run. Essentially, you know, it ends up becoming a dead playing field when you're not banding together. Again, we can make the numbers work for us or make it work against us. I honestly feel we should be making it work with us. For some of y'all, you tired of prime example, and I'm gonna use this as an example. Some of y'all are tired of what's going on as far as the foods is concerned or the options of stores and stuff like that. Then y'all need to get together, get a business plan, and try to put something back where you think is needed. You think it's not enough, prime example, if you thinking it's not enough, shopping areas as far as for, simplest food items, or you think it's not enough, recreation for the kids as far as parks and stuff is concerned, then get together with your local people, do what you gotta do, and then, draw out a business plan or something. You feel you want to restore certain things in your community, hey, get the right people along, get the right petitions set up, and then you set it up from there. Again, there's ways to bring opportunities where everybody is going to be happy. Because if somebody does decide, okay, you know what, we ain't got enough self-defense classes out here for those who probably interested in that. Again, bring back things that will bring interest not just to the kids but the adults as well. They'll get people involved in the right sort of fashion. Not enough self-defense classes over here. All right, well look, I'm gonna build at least 2 or 3 different spots. You learn different whatever. You'll learn different, combats if you need it. There are certain things again, even for the youngins, that they trying to still uphold, but everything else done either faded away or is close to fading away. Again, essentially teach these kids about economics. Teach them about the value of a dollar, how everything works, so on and so forth. Again, when you give a grand opportunity to things, you'll see the notion. You'll definitely see it for what it is. Again, you want to put a great business plan out there, a great blueprint for society. That this way, again, even in the future, everybody will have something to do. I don't think it really should ever came to a point of I gotta rob or kill or even hurt my own people just to get some sort of gain out of it. My fault, because I really thought about that. I'm still going back to what I said earlier. That could have went either which way. That young man could have been either locked up for life, could have been paralyzed for life, or he could have got killed. Marco, what's going on, my guy? Again, some of y'all, again, you think you for that life, you think you that tough. Some of y'all just don't care. I'm gonna just keep it real. Some of y'all just don't care. But it's already a mindset on how it's being presented now. These young men and women, and I don't care. I'm not going to say it's just us. No, it's not just the melanated. I'm saying people in general. It's always going to be a small handful from every part that's going to almost make their race as a whole look bad, if you want to call it that way, or make their ethnicity look bad. So again, essentially, some of them are already hardwired with that I don't care mentality. If I gotta rob your grandmama just to get my come up, I'm going to do so. If I gotta put a bullet in somebody just to prove that I'm about that, then I'm gonna do so. That's the mentality that's being given out right now. It always shouldn't be just about survival of the fittest. No, everybody should be able to survive, come together, and actually do something that's worth it. You know, how you gonna bring solutions, or how you cry about solutions if you ain't trying to help bring it? Some of y'all want areas protected at all costs, even down to where you living at personally. But if you ain't taking that opportunity to say, nah, we want to make sure our buildings are straight, our houses are straight, our neighborhoods are straight, and then you can't cry about it. You see it's certain things that's even being presented even in front of your doorstep. You supposed to stand up for that. You know for a fact you see certain things happening that shouldn't be happening. You got kids, you don't want them to be enticed by it. You gonna have to stand up on it. Like I said, eventually you're gonna have to just start bringing back a family balance. Key to the survival thing, again, it's just thinking. Critical steps that's gonna make everything possible and even better, for the long run. I don't know. Just it seems weird because you see more and more videos like that, and then you could tell which ones don't care about, loss of life, even their own. And you're gonna have those who you might think that they was really about it. You come to find out they was just following behind people. And see the ones that's just doing all the following, at some point they end up dropping the dime on everything. That's why I said it used to be a structure, even when it did come down to people doing what they was doing. You wasn't gonna be able to have a group full of people and then you gonna have to worry about somebody dropping dime or blowing up the whole operation. But I essentially said if you feel you gotta worry about who you trust, especially doing stuff, then don't do it at all. Don't involve nobody in your crimes. Some of y'all gotta think you are literally hurting the parents that do care about you or the people that do care about you when you put yourself in these positions. Again, essentially, if you got kids, what you going to explain to them, or how you going to explain it to them that you're never coming home, or that by the time you come home, they're going to be grown already, probably with kids, or how you going to explain to them if you do get that quote unquote death row and death sentence, and they do execute you? How you going to explain that? Can't. And I'm gonna be honest with some of you men and women. You shouldn't want nobody else really raising your kids if you brought them in the world. If you brought them in here, you got to find a way to try to do something for them that's beneficial. I'm sorry, but essentially the things that is going on, they necessarily don't have to go on. Shouldn't have to. At some point, you got to realize, um, again, who essentially gets hurt? The kids that's coming behind. Again, how they gonna feel when they want to know why they mother not here or why they father not here, why they missing out on birthdays and certain holidays and everything else along those lines? How you gonna explain that? Essentially, you're gonna have to take responsibility and accountability for every action that you take. And if that action is gonna lead you down the death road, you don't need it. Definitely don't need it at all. No, again, love yourself to give yourself an opportunity at advancing in something in life. Sorry, but we really need the numbers to start working for us and not against us. I would say in this instance, for some of y'all that are young parents, who do you want essentially teaching your kids? You know, yeah. See, this is the thing. Sometimes you're gonna have to give your kids the truth, but it's a way you give them the truth. You know, and sometimes it's cool to just not disturb a balance. At least until you know a person is more in control of how they react to the situation. Some kids ain't gonna want to hear that their other parent is not a responsible parent. And again, essentially, it hurts. My fault. Yeah, yeah. I'm at work, but in the same token, there's something you shouldn't mess up. You know, don't mess up the structure. You know, I grant that. Yeah, some people try to wait until these kids become adults, but then there's just some things at some point you're not going to be able to hide from them. You're going to have to really open your mouth and say something. You know, because think about it, you got some kids that wonder why their mothers don't love them or why their fathers don't love them. And the problem is, again, give me 1 second. The problem is, honestly, um, it's drugs involved. Now, if you got to tell your child that, listen, this is the reason why your mother or your father isn't whatever, but make sure you bring it, tell them the truth, you know, not so much a sugarcoat it, but tell them the truth the way it don't make them feel a type of way or don't backfire. And you got to think about it too, at some point, even on that level, right? If there is drugs involved when it comes to you not being a good parent or that person not being a good parent, the kids will see it for themselves, you know? See, and honestly, I feel in that motion right there, even though it kind of had a bad consequence right now, she technically did the right thing. Because again, at some point, you're going to learn the truth about your parents. You're going to learn the truth about the people who are around you. And just imagine, even if she didn't tell him, guess what? At some point, you probably would have ran out, ran into them, seen them doing something that they ain't necessarily should be doing, and that'd be they out. And then you know what? Essentially, it will still look bad on her. It will look bad on her because you didn't tell her. That's why I said, depending on what's what, if you feel they too young or if you feel that this is gonna, disturb them in a certain way, then wait. Don't disturb the balances yet. But if you know it's something that they desperately need to hear and gotta hear, then hey, you gotta do it. Because there's certain situations where parents can't be around their kids because again, they either on a registry They're a predator in one way or another, and it's unsafe. Again, I feel it's the only time a child should not have contact with a parent like that is if there's drugs involved and they not trying to stop the drugs, or again if they essentially on these registries for offenses that we know for a fact they shouldn't be in. I don't know. It's just it's really just becoming too wild in what's going on in this world right now. Anita, what's going on, baby? I already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But essentially, again, you mess up your own self. Why? Because you didn't have to do it. Again, once you bring a kid into the world, whatever you thought to do, however you thought you should live, it should stop. Because again, you are essentially messing up a balance. You know, you don't want nobody else raising your kid or possibly destroying what family that you're building. You're gonna have to stand firm on your household regardless. Again, I would tell you, young men, instead of trying to worry about robbing, stealing, and hustling, find something the way you could get yourself in a good position. Yeah, you might have to take a little struggle. I'd rather struggle and know that I'm gonna have something waiting for me towards the end of the week than struggle, do something that I know is gonna cause me my freedom, and then now I'm sitting there looking silly. Yeah, I know that part serious. That's why I said in certain situations, if they don't necessarily have to find out or they don't necessarily have to hear anything right away, leave it. But when you think they are mature enough to understand certain things, or even to a point where if they start coming to you and asking questions now it's time for you to explain what's going on. Like, look, I know you want to know why your father ain't been here, and the truth of the matter is this. Or I know you want to know why mom's is not here, why she ain't been here. This is what it is. You know, sometimes you just gotta know the situation at hand and then assess it the right way. But again, I do feel every child does deserve the truth. Every child should be able to grow up in a family structure or a strong structure on top of that, and they deserve opportunity. Same way we was given opportunity, it's time to start giving that opportunity back. Can't give back no opportunity if you sitting there showing them how to do the things that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. Not gonna be sitting there trying to show somebody how to cook up some drugs or do something along those lines when I'm taking the risk myself. But yeah, be strong and be firm in what you're doing in life. And again, if you know you got kids, that trying to rob somebody and kill somebody just for a come up, that should be the last thing on your mind. I think about some people recently who just had babies and lost their lives over silliness. Lost their lives over stuff that they was doing, that had been doing, and it finally caught up. Again, how long you think you're gonna be able to rob and steal or pillage or even cause damage to the same areas that you live in before somebody stops you? You know, because again, essentially, you're gonna have to set the pace. So again, you young fellas, you young ladies, some of you young ladies, again, you ride around with the hustlers, you ride around with the quote unquote dope boys. They got you muling and doing certain things that's making you take a risk. I remember I was watching a documentary. Girl was, I think, 14 years old when she got into jail. She's still in jail. Sad part about it is, the reason why I said still in jail is because she had a minor offense the first time. They let her go. You end up having kids with somebody further down the line. But then the same token, you didn't value your kids. So look what happened. You decide to go with the hustler. The hustler decides, instead of taking his crime as a man, he threw the charges on you. And that's what you essentially face. Yeah, everybody gang, everybody for the set, everybody for this, everybody for that. Until they really start seeing you about to might be getting football numbers, and now everybody start talking. It's time for the young men and the young women to know that they are important and they deserve the best. Sorry, but they do. Again, I essentially asked the question tonight: what's more important? You making it home to your family safe and sound, or you not making it home at all? I also want to say something again to some of you quote unquote content creators that like to do pranks and stuff. Frankie, what's going on, my guy? I want to speak to some of you quote unquote YouTubers, Instagrammers, whoever. Some of y'all been doing some pranks that's damn near getting you killed. And for what? Because you trying to get a laugh from the people. Again, essentially, if you are not having the right people around when you're doing these things for content and for whatever, don't put the wrong people in it. Watch the prank go wrong. Think this is in Cali. Dude in the oil crip area, wearing all red, car all red, said some next stuff. Now the first group of people he came across, he got off lucky because one of them, I think, recognized him. I think one of them did recognize him and said, "Yo, fool, you can't be playing like that over here, man." Now he went in another area, he wasn't so lucky. Even when he said, "No, no, no, it's a prank, it's a prank," they still robbed him. What they robbed him for, I'm not sure. But they definitely walked them off that camera. So, again, you essentially have to be mindful of what you're doing. There's just some things that ain't worth your freedom or your life for a view and a click, man. Yeah, serious, I'm telling you. I'm speaking this because, again, some of you are young. And when I say young, I mean like some of y'all still got your whole lives to live. Some of y'all think that it's just going to be an easy climb to the top when it comes to trying to be a sensation or try to blow up in the world, however you think you're trying to blow up. But in the same token, you're going to have consequences to deal with when you are doing certain prank videos or certain prank skits and you got random people that's not involved. I watched another prank that almost went wrong. I almost shot this dude. You're playing around too much. Some people are not playing. Like he said something along the lines of, "What, you want to get smoked? You want to get smoked?" So when the guy turned around and said, "What you said?" Pulled out that gun. No, 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 it's a prank. Yo, yo, we doing this for. Yeah, you could have got yourself shot. Again, some people ain't playing with a full deck. Some people just, they gonna assume it's something when you coming with that aggressive attitude. James, what's going on, my guy? Again, you putting yourself in harm's way. Now, again, if that guy would have decided to shoot you on camera, then what? Be mindful of the areas that you in. You in an area where it could definitely go down in point 0.5 seconds. I don't think you should be trying to do anything. There was a couple videos I seen where got some people even doing the things out there in Chicago. Look, there's some people who they know who does comedy, they know who's who, so those ones is always going to be good. But then you got those, if they ain't wary of you, you ain't even from out there, and you doing certain things along the lines that could get you hurt, it's going to get you hurt. Again, essentially, what's more important? Your safety, your safety, or 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame. Again, it is essentially time to wake up. Smell the coffee. Yeah, people don't mind comedy. Comedy is good for the soul. It does make people laugh. All forms of comedy. I grant that. But again, there's just some comedy that people are not going to take for granted. I remember one prank, they was quote unquote doing what was it supposed to be? A domestic violence prank or something like that. And son almost got himself beat up and killed. Like, you can't do stuff like that because some people are just not going to be for that. They're still going to be for that. If they think somebody is getting picked on or abused, they ain't playing that. They're trying to take you out. So again, be mindful. You want to do pranks and jokes and stuff like that? All right, here's a way to do it. Give me 1 second. Damn, people need to go home with this shit. Yeah, my bad, y'all. See, you ain't to even do that sometimes, but I had to mute the mic. I had to make sure these people wasn't in the area they wasn't supposed to be in. Like, I don't get that neither with some people. You want to make things harder than they need to be. If somebody asked you kindly to just do something, especially there's no malice, no nothing involved, respect that. That's what I'm saying. Some people just gotta learn to have a respect level on things, period. Again, not everybody's gonna come with a disrespect level or nothing like that. But there are things that if somebody asks you nicely to take care of, just take care of it. And this is my thing. Um, Again, essentially, set yourself up for something good. Set yourself up for something righteous. And that righteousness should definitely, pass on to the future generations behind you. I would advise some of y'all again, especially some of y'all that still want to move crazy. You better get you health insurance, life insurance, all of that. That's going to be key because again, some of y'all don't know what's going to happen. But again, don't leave your family with a won't. You're supposed to leave them with a will. You're supposed to leave them something. So when it is your time to go, they don't struggle or they know how to move just in case if they think it's a struggle. You know, again, essentially, you want to leave the people in your family something, especially those who really love and care for you. Leave them something. Stop leaving arguments. Stop leaving headaches. You know, stop leaving them the questions of why and when. See, it's not about judging nobody. It's not about trying to look down on nobody. But at some point, you need to look up to something better. You got to find something that's going to keep you uplifted, upbeat, and then you move from there. You know, prime example. I can say this: you might not be good at, you might be horrible at math at first, but if you take that time, that dedication, you study, you know, you get the hang of everything. Even if you get a little bit of help in the midst of that, you know, you take that. Once you where you need to be, okay, now you know how to set it up from there. You know, you have to get adjusted to life. You have to get adjusted to things that are changing in life and in society. You have to. But what better way to do so by giving the opportunity where it's needed? You know, again, you are going to have to show grit and determination. You want happiness. You want a fair balance. You want things to move in a way that it should move or could possibly move. Then you're going to have to put in that work and determination. You know, again, you're not going to be a skilled professional as far as sports overnight. No, you got to work. You got to put in your time and dedication to that. You want to be in football, guess what? You're going to have to go through drills. You're going to have to go through specific practices. Hey, even when you're not worried about the off season, you still going to have to keep yourself in some sort of disciplined form. All right, I know I got a couple months off before I get back to whatever I'm doing. All right, I'm going to have my fun for one of those months. And the other rest of my months, it's time for me to get down to business. Prime example, you know, you even boxing, even though you don't have that many boxing fights throughout the year, if you have two at least throughout the year, guess what? You still got to be prime and ready to fight. So there's certain things you might have to stop. You know, there's some things you're gonna have to give up, at least for the small time frame, because it is supposed to be for the betterment of you. And the fact that some of y'all not even taking a chance to, you know, invest in yourself, that's a problem. That's a key way again of not seeing a better picture for tomorrow. You should. Again, who's gonna suffer in the long run when we long gone? Those youth. Because we ain't set no nothing in boundary or in place for them to catch on to something and actually make it work. And the things that they are catching on to, yeah, they trying to make it work. But how can you make things work the way you want it to when, again, essentially not showing them how? Showing them how to hot wire a car, showing them how to, like I said, showing them how to do things like credit card scams, showing them even how to cook up drugs or even sell drugs. That's not giving them nothing. It's not giving them no hope. Oh, I know that part, Miss T. Trust me. There's always going to be people that try to look at you for your past. And depending on your past, most of it can be forgiven. There are some things that you ain't gonna be forgiven for, even by that higher power. I'm sorry. I just feel that way. Any type of harm when it comes to sexual harm or anything along the lines of kids, teens, or anybody, even adults, there's no forgiveness for that because again, you essentially made a decision that you could have actually stopped. You didn't necessarily have to do it, but you did it anyway because you wanted to do it because you wanted to get that thrill. And there's some people that again that have been arrested for things like that. And some of them, when you have interviews with them, you see how they look. You see exactly how they lived, and they said if they had to do it again, they would do it again. So those are the type of things you gotta be eerie for already in this world. Again, you want to be fixed in your kid's life or fixed in your kid's future at all, and you're gonna have to set the boundaries. You're gonna have to set the tone, and you're gonna have to definitely make sure you are guiding that ship in the right direction. Again, guide them to something greater than just the fast come up. Not everything gonna come fast. Even when it comes down to you doing things legitly, you can't rush a process in life. You know, you can only go through it, learn from it, and then know how to move from it. And again, in certain instances, you probably gonna have to cut some people off, especially if those people ain't doing nothing but feeding the seeds of hate and destruction. Yo, why you worried about going to school, man? You could be out here with us doing this, down the third, man. Man, forget school. You ain't learning shit. Oh, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Nah, you learning. And you could be learning more. Again, it is time for people to start making more calculated decisions. And that's essentially what's needed. More calculated decisions. Again, you don't want to see your kids suffer from you suffering, or you don't want your kids suffering because you didn't teach them nothing. It's time to start teaching. And some of y'all are going to have to start teaching them ways to find different alleyways to express their anger, emotions, and all of that. It's about that time. And if some of y'all are mad again about what society is bringing you, or if you're mad about the things that it's not giving you, then y'all need to be coming together to try to make something work. You tired of seeing harm and hurt in your community, then you're gonna have to band up at some point. You're gonna have to. You have to band up to make sure everything is safe and comfortable for the future. Should your kids have to worry about stray bullets? Should your kids have to worry about possibly getting hurt in the midst of a squabble? That's another thing. Again, some of you parents, it's time for y'all to think before you do, especially around your kids. Because essentially, your kids are not just seeing the outcomes and the ramifications, but they end up doing exactly what they seen you do. If you don't want your kids out here doing certain things, they shouldn't be seeing you or hearing you even discuss things or do things in front of them. That's why I said be careful when you do got kids. Be careful of what you present to them and around them. You present the wrong thing around them, and again, that could be the downfall for everybody. But I do feel again, you know, the times is getting more drastic, and yeah, some people think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but there is. You know, sometimes things are going to get worse before they get better. So to honestly say that at this point, we want to start seeing better, and we will. It's going to come slow and gradual, but nonetheless, it's going to come. Big dog, what's going on, my guy? I'm sorry, but seeing stuff like that to where people are almost losing their lives is getting ridiculous. And again, essentially, like even down to some of you content creators that again doing things on a comedy basis. Make sure that the people that you got involved in it, or make sure that the things that you doing, you got the right people with you. Because again, some people are not going to be for the pranks, the jokes, and they don't want to be a part of that. And some people actually might not want to be on camera because again, you don't know what their situations is. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think. Essentially, the seeds that you plant, they could be good or they could be bad, depending. It is essentially again up to you. Got to ask yourself, where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing? You know, those are questions that should always be asked on the grander scale of things. What essentially is my long run, and what's my end game? And that's what some people should be worried about. What's my end game when it's all said and done? My end game should be, I'm progressing, my family's progressing, and everybody is growing, substantially. Yeah, I think that is going to happen at some point. And I respect and give love to those who are definitely, being on the forefronts one way or another. But again, I'm saying this to you content creators. Your life is very valuable and precious. Think about the things you do, again, even when you trying to make something happen. And I would hope that that boy learned his lesson because I know they definitely robbed him as soon as they walked off camera. So, again, you got people that are just not playing. And some people take the things that they quote unquote fighting for serious. You come into a territory trying to, push a fake narrative, or if you come into somebody's territory and you doing certain things that ain't normally done, you gonna find out. And again, that boy almost lost his life, or could have lost his life. Lucky, like I said, it went from one crime. It went essentially from one crime to another because I felt something was still gonna happen. You can't go in areas where you know there's heavy gang activity and these people are really losing their lives over colors and blocks. And then you go over there essentially doing some stuff you ain't got no business doing. Even if you, oh, it's a prank, 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 chill. No, this happened out here a while back too. People want to run around doing certain pranks. You don't know these people out here. And some of these people, the minute they feel you scheming or you doing something to somebody they really rock with, they going to be on your neck. You try to run around with that, you'll pull up your pants and almost got your head tucking. Well, you did get your head cleaned off, but it could have been worse than that on that corner. Jersey, what's going on, my guy? Definitely appreciate you for dropping all those links tonight. Serious, baby. Definitely some good people up in there. The link is pinned in case anybody want to chime in on this topic. But again, a few things that need to be spoke about tonight. Another thing I'm gonna speak about tonight before I get up out of here today. Again, some of y'all have to be wiser with your health. If you know you ain't got no type of health insurance, you better get you some, one way or another. Because again, essentially, your health is your wealth. See, and this is the grand scheme of things for some people that that y'all should realize. Some of y'all are going to the depths of hell just to grab up and get some money. But in the same token, you gonna get that money today, you might not be able to enjoy it tomorrow. And then again, yeah, what do you essentially tell your family when you get sent up the river? What can you tell them? Daddy made a mistake, gotta pay for it. Mommy made a mistake, gotta pay for it. Both of them paid. Like, come on. Yeah, that wind ain't playing outside, y'all. My bad. Oh man. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. It is time for a lot of y'all to start thinking about your health on all angles. While you have the time to take care of necessary things, take care of it. Again, you want to be around longer, be around longer. Let me see if I should say hi to this person. Cause I already know who this is. Well, for the mods, y'all already know I'm not doing nothing tonight, so y'all got all free range. I'm chilling, little bro. I'm chilling. You gotta pray for everybody. Miss T, you gotta pray for everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you, you do. I know. Like I told y'all, I'm kind of aware of who's really subbed to me and who's not. So, and nonetheless, doesn't matter because I still brought what was needed tonight. The most important things. Again, it is essentially time to stop the drama and the madness. The drama and the madness right now I'm speaking of is not loving yourself, not caring for yourself. That's drama and madness. You will want to keep yourself preserved at all points, even to your health. If you know you got cancer, do what you necessarily got to do so you could try to have the odds of beating it or just, keeping you here longer. Suffering from high cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, anything along those lines, you do what you got to do to keep yourself here and healthy. That's the most important thing. Definitely want to see everybody that's been growing and building with this channel. And I speak on this because, again, I want to see everybody being prosperous and being as healthy as they can for the rest of this year and for the future years to come. I bring these topics and these talks because I believe in everything that I say. And I believe in everything that I feel. And I feel at some point the world will make a change for the better. It's going to come slow, but it's going to come. But the best way to know it's going to come again is trying to love yourself, love the way you doing things in life. Keep your health to its highest peak if you can. And when things feel like it's going to be damaging, it's not. I'm not a medical professional, but I play one on YouTube. But it's essentially just being real. Love yourself enough to keep yourself here long enough. But I'm also going to say this too. Like I was saying the other night, again, some of y'all are going to have to pass the information along amongst your family, regardless of what. Everything, even down to health. And again, essentially, you got to give yourself a balance. Even if it's the simplest workout, simple as walks, do what you got to do. Do your own little exercise at home. Do what you got to do. Again, keep yourself here longer. And for you youngins that's out here wilding, you want to be here longer, you got to get out that mindset that there's no opportunity. And why should you have to struggle? Again, everybody went through a struggle. Even in that good book, if you follow it, at some point everybody went through a struggle. Yeah, everybody gonna have their good points, they gonna have their rich points. They ain't gonna have points where it's a test. It's a spiritual test to see if you want to cut it out or not. You know, there's some people who have bad luck on top of bad luck. They can't seem to figure out why. But a lot of times it's just, it's just a test to see exactly where you at in the mind space and where you at spiritual. There's some things where you feel like you're being deserted, you're not. When you feel like you being, targeted, you're not. Again, essentially, there's things in this world that you just might not never possess. And it should be okay. You can't possess all the knowledge in the world and all the knowledge around you because guess what? You're still opening your eyes day in and day out. So every day is a learning experience and something new is being presented. So you're still not gaining all the knowledge that you think you're gaining. Again, essentially stop going to the violence aspect of things. You don't have to be violent. You don't even got to lift a finger to do anything. You want to lift a finger up, have the energy to lift a finger up and do something good around the people around you and in your community. You want things, you're going to have to produce things. And for those who definitely been rocking with me, y'all already know. If y'all ain't subbed up to that Twitch channel, I suggest you do so. Because again, at some point, there's certain things I'm just going to eliminate on here. And even on the backup pages, I'm going to eliminate them. But again, essentially love yourself. And give yourself the strength, the courage, and the opportunity to just, battle in life. Every day in life is going to be a battle and a struggle. But again, it's essentially how long you stay in that struggle. If you're struggling financially, there's ways for you to not struggle at all. Again, even if you don't want to work for somebody, figure out something that you know is going to be beneficial and that works for you. And then you bring it to the people. Again, you got people who are doing the simplest things, like prime example. Some people used to, and they still doing that. Some people are selling dinner plates. Some people are quote unquote doing catering from home. If you need this done for holidays, let me know. I got you. This, that, the third. You can start off like that. Some great, you know, some great techniques and great inspirations happen, and it started from home, or it started with just an idea. You have to give yourself that notion to say, you know what, I might be in this little struggle for now, but I could push out that struggle. Well, how I could push out the struggle? By just bringing something I know is needed right now. What do I think I need, or what do I think the people need, or what do I think will be beneficial for everybody? Yeah, you want to essentially have to start thinking. Use your brains for more positive. Stop using your brains just to think about evil ways to get over. And if nothing resonated tonight that I said anything, hey, it will. Yeah, Miss T. It is another streaming platform, but it's not as restricted as certain apps. So I'm definitely gonna be doing that. And I'm sorry, but there is certain things I am going to stop on these backup pages, and it's for good reason. Again, some of y'all can understand. Again, I don't do too many restrictions or too many what I can and can't do. But that's all you gotta do. And that's for anybody. If you confused about Twitch or whatever, just when the link is dropped, you go in from there, create your profile and whatever. You know, I'm definitely gonna rock out on that page tomorrow. So since I'm off tomorrow, I'm gonna have a soulful Sunday. So I'll definitely be over there in case y'all looking for me. If y'all expecting music or whatever on any of these pages, you ain't getting it. I'm going right to Twitch with it. And definitely make sure y'all follow me on Rumble. I still gotta get the people up so I can start doing the content like I want to. So, nonetheless, hopefully somebody did take something out of this tonight. Hopefully, again, some of you youngins are listening to the message at hand. And I hope some of you young adults out there, you parents out there, are listening to that too. There's ways to create golden opportunities even while in the struggle. Again, use your brain. See what's out there. See what you could possibly change or be a part of some sort of change. And then you make it work from there. You could build your own companies or build your own businesses, even if it is starting from home. Essentially, that's how some of these businesses got started again. Ideas from home. Or just ideas while you was in the home. Just think about that for the night. Let it sit there with your soul for a minute. And if I didn't say nothing that resonated, then hey, I still feel like I did something good tonight. And I'm not going to hold y'all all night neither. Just felt like I needed to bring this out. So, and I'll definitely be back in the morning for the cypher, definitely. Try to give y'all that morning walk and talk, you know. Hopefully, if it ain't too windy. And like I said, definitely make sure y'all follow me on Twitch because I will be on Twitch tomorrow. I'm going to do another testing. And I hope to see most of y'all in there. Nonetheless, definitely was a good talk and conversation. And I'm going to definitely keep doing that more often. Even if it's once out the day, hey, you already know we're going to always have something to bring to the forefront. And that's the most important thing. Bringing some sort of structure even with this conversation. So I definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in. And again, it's always a blessing to be amongst the people and bringing something good. And it feels good. So there is no hate or opposition that can stop a feeling or stop a notion or stop a movement. Only way a movement stops is if the people stop. And I don't plan on stopping, so. But let me get up out of here. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, I'll be back in the morning for the cypher. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. And that's all I'm going to do is give you real topics and real builds. And again, shout outs to everybody of the Eulogy family. And again, planning on doing something, if not between them, next month. Probably around the holidays. Look at you coming into church all late, Truth. Come on now, man. Come on now. Come on now. You gonna come up in the dark. Now I gotta give her 5 minutes. You gonna come up in here late for church, pregnant as always. Now, nah, it's all good, Truth. I know. I know sometimes the notifications don't go out. I know sometimes people get the notifications and they don't chime in. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna still be true to my word. And the main ones that been here from the beginning, y'all know where I stand at. I'm all for building, growth, and everything else. You know, and I don't expect everybody to be on board. I don't expect everybody to always sit for a whole hour or so. And I don't expect some people to resonate with what I'm doing either. But that don't mean I'm not building amongst people who are, doing different things that people could be a part of. You know, and I'm sorry, but again, I know some people probably just ain't gonna resonate with it. One thing I've always said about things, I'm gonna always be real with people and be real with myself. If I feel certain things I'm not dealing with or I feel certain things is off, me as a grown man, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how I'm feeling. I'm not gonna hide behind nothing. I'm not gonna tell somebody else on how I'm feeling and tell you how I'm feeling. I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling. But again, I'm always going to support and rock out with those who've been real and supportive with the growth in the collective. There were some people who I thought was actually for the collective. I thought they was want to really stay around, but hey, recently they showed true colors, and I could care less. Um, the reason why I could say I could care less is because again, it showed not everybody gonna be for you, and I don't think anybody can really deal with somebody that's just as real. That's not taking no step backs, no nothing. And even when I take a step back, it ain't that much of a step back. You want people to be something outside of themselves, but I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm going to be me regardless. But nonetheless, I'm always going to rock out and support those who really been rocking out and supporting. And again, if you ain't following me on Twitch, make sure you're doing so. That goes for you too, True. Get your butt on Twitch. Come in my church all late. Like I said, I definitely want to build that. First channel I had, yeah, I did have some of y'all, but for some reason I couldn't stream or do nothing off that, so I just made a new one. And I definitely do appreciate you, Sirius, for dropping all those links tonight. You're my super mod. Can you drop that link again, Sirius? If it ain't, see if you wasn't late for church, could have caught it. See. Matter of fact, I'm glad you in here. See now I got to give you all this work today since you want to be late for church. Okay, it's in the chat, Truth. You probably just got to scroll back up, but it's in there. D, don't be encouraging no madness, and neither y'all know not to encourage no darn madness. No, but essentially, like I said before, and I'm going to keep it real. Um, the main ones who have always kept me upbeat and balanced, it is love, and it's always going to be love regardless. You know, without y'all, there is no growth and there is no movement. And I believe the right people will come together for the right growth and the right movement. So if this is where it's headed, then hey, I'm all for that. But nonetheless, just want to see a better future. We should be looking forward to that, a better future. So start getting to it. Like I said, I'd definitely be on Twitch tomorrow. Who knows? I might try to give a little. Let me see if I give a little 2 hour special, 2.5 hour special. Uh, and don't worry, you ain't got to worry about too many interruptions on what I'm doing over there. So, oh, and in the event you might have a lagging issue, just come back out and come back in. Found out the hard way myself trying to follow somebody. So yeah, it be like that sometimes. But again, for those who are part of this eulogy family and been a part of this growth, you already know it's always love. I know some of y'all have been busy with family, busy with other active activities, and I can always respect that. As long as y'all been keeping it real with me, I'm always going to keep it real with you. So you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, Sirius. Like I said, you've been another part of this growth, even as of recently. You've been doing a lot. Like a lot of y'all, you've been doing a lot. The main thing I only ask is just be real with me. And I can never be fake with you. Still don't know how to be fake, but I'm trying. Trying to learn how to be fake, y'all. I think I learned how to make fake macaroni, but I don't know how to fake the macaroni. So, hey, I'm always gonna be me. I'm always gonna bring a topic, and sometimes the topics might hit hard. It might hit hard. It might hit close to home. But I'm all for those talks, especially if those talks is leading to some sort of progression and healing. And that's what we need more than anything right now is just healing. Healing and a better understanding that there are things that are just not going to be in our control. Jiggy, what's going on, my guy? Yep. So is your mother. And so is your mother. Hey, I said that tonight. I'm sorry, but some of y'all, man, here, you need one of these too. Bye bye. Just take one for good measurement, though. Gotta take one for good measurement. Nah, I think you gotta take this one for good measurement.
Yeah, my bad. Felt a little petty right there. My bad. Anytime you could come in here and try to make claims on something and you don't have actual proof, that shows what kind of dumbness you living in. And you're the same person. I think I'm gonna need you to really grow up and get a life and be a part of that productivity I be talking about. You not being productive by just doing stupid stuff like this on the internet all day. And I'm gonna tell you this again, it don't phase me like you think it do. If anything, it makes yourself look stupid. It makes yourself look heartless. And again, I'm petty like that, baby. Let's find out if we call your mother a man and ask her how she likes being called a man. Let's go there. I think your mother's more of a man than you, actually. So yeah, my bad. I was standing on this shit correctly. And again, for those who might have just came into some madness, you didn't really come into no madness. And don't think that I've no. But see, we got trolls and we got ignorant people like this that again, you know, they don't want to present that much of an opposition. Why? Because again, they don't want to see change and progression. I would tell you again to value your life and value something outside of just what you think. This internet is going to come and go to a degree. Some of these apps are going to come and go. And when they do go, guess what? What your next step in life is. Oh, and I still feel I need to say this to higher uppers. Yeah, I'm addressing y'all today. I could care less about how you feel about it. I'm going to keep addressing y'all until you start changing certain things. Again, if somebody's trying to clone and copy a page that you already know is authenticated by y'all, why would you let them do it anyway? Ain't it about time for y'all to fix that? Stop putting restrictions on the real content creators. How about that one? Stop putting restrictions on us, man. Put restrictions on the things you need to. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Your goal right now is to try to get people off here. You want to bring people here, but in the same token, they want to leave from here because look what's happening. You got people again who got demonetized who by just doing certain things they felt was good, or they doing certain things trying to build and create, and y'all have a problem with it. Hey, you quick to go at them. Come on now. And for that troll that came in here again, I would need you to bring some proof if you're gonna keep trying to call somebody outside of their character. But I forgot, you probably don't know what character is. You're not built on that. Yeah. Yeah, my scalp hurt for real. And obviously you just doing stupidity anyway. Again, you showing what kind of a creep and a weirdo you are if you really are sitting around following somebody day in and day out. Not just me, but people that resonate with me. You just want to follow them. Come on now. Cut it out now. Grow up. Get a life. And it's Saturday night. Ain't you supposed to be out? Man, all you non-sat Friday and Saturday, man, y'all better find something to do. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop trying to be a distraction or something. I'm gonna need you to distract yourself from this internet, from these devices, and go act like you got a life. Nah, it's true. Because again, it's just too much of that. Nobody don't. That's the problem too. Nobody know how to be themselves. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm gonna continuously be myself, whether you like it or not. And again, if you want to come with stupidity and not not facts, I don't want to hear it. Because again, you got time to waste and worry about what somebody else is doing when you should be focusing on what you need to be doing. Oh, don't worry about me because I'm talking to the people on a Saturday night on the internet because I'm actually at work getting my nag. What are you doing besides just sitting there looking stupid? I'll wait. But again, the people that just came in, people might catch the replay. Yeah, I'm kind of cracking jokes because again, this person that came in with the stupidity is a joke. Right, the same person that was saying F the youth, F the kids, F this, F that. And the sad part again is about you got people that will really say that. They really believe in what they saying. Anti, what's going on, baby? These people will say and do anything. So I believe the same thing you're saying and spew on here, you'll do that outside. But you know who to do it to and who not to do it to. And I think that's the problem too. Some of y'all picking and choosing who you want to try to be stupid with. See, I'm all for the funny games. I'm all for sniping asses and all of that. Just not for stupidity when it comes to real build and the real talk. Then again, some of y'all need to grow some character. Because apparently you still haven't grown none. If you come in here and try to say that somebody who you don't even know if this person is a mother or not, but you're quick to call him a man. You don't know if these people got kids or not, and you quick to be stupid. Like, come on, grow up. At some point, you better start acting your age, and not your shoe size, and not your hat size neither. Grow up, man. Andrew, what's going on? This is one reason why some people are moving away from this app too. And I'm speaking to you high ups again. Yeah, you're gonna get this work today too. Because if you got people who are essentially here for good reasons, and now it's almost to a point where things are getting sideways, getting changed, they ain't gonna want to be here longer. Some people did not come here for the nonsense, being on this app all day, making videos and lives about people. Some people ain't come here for all of that. Some people actually came with a notion to build and grow. And some people are going to stick to what they stick to. I could be one of the proud ones that said I've only been here not even 2 years as far as really doing content. Yeah, I was circling around YouTube to some degree, just on a support level. But for almost the last 2 years, I've stuck to what I've stuck to, and I'm going to continue to stick to it. No matter what the opposition think they're going to try to bring, they just going to keep getting kicked down. There's some things that are bigger than you and bigger than me. And it's time for y'all to start seeing the bigger picture of things. Be real with yourselves, even on here. If you can't be yourself, I don't think you should be it. But nonetheless, I did say one thing, and I'm going to keep that. There's going to be no stupidity over here with anybody. If you can't be a real grown man or woman about whatever, even if you got an issue with somebody, you can't sit at a round table and bring it together, then guess what? Go lick your wounds and shut up. Go live your life. Some of y'all gotta again think before you do. And I'm gonna conclude that off tonight. But nonetheless, let me get the hell up off this. Like I said, I'll definitely be back for the morning site. For those who might have just been tuning in, you can catch the replay definitely. And again, shouts to everybody, to the Eulogy family, and been a part of this growth from day one to even recently. The ones who have been maintaining and keeping it real, I'll always be real with y'all. So, y'all stay safe, keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.